You're listening to content developed by the GoPro Radio Network, the fastest growing network in the galaxy. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head.
The views and opinions expressed on GoPro Radio Network shows are solely those of the speakers and are not necessarily the views or opinions of GoPro Radio Network, Inc. or its affiliates. These broadcasts are provided on the understanding that they do not constitute professional advice or services. Individuals who speak on these broadcasts express their own opinions, experiences, and conclusions. GoPro Radio Networks and its affiliates do not necessarily endorse or oppose any particular opinion or conclusion discussed in these broadcasts. You may not edit or modify or redistribute these broadcasts in any way without the express permission from GoPro Radio, LLC. GoPro Radio assumes no liability for any of your activities in connection with our broadcasts or for your use of these broadcasts in connection with your website, computer, smartphone, tablet, iPad, or future listening devices. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head.
Neck pain. Back pain. Ouch! But now there's PillowMax, the new armrest pillow. PillowMax provides full arm and elbow support while driving. One size fits all.
PillowMax is the perfect remedy for neck, low back, and trap pains while traveling in your car. I recommend the PillowMax to all my patients.
PillowMax comes in black and white and has a machine washable cover.
PillowMax is awesome.
PillowMax. PillowMax.
Available at retailers worldwide.
You're listening to content developed by the GoPro Radio Network, the fastest growing network in the galaxy. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head.
The views and opinions.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you a great opportunity. If you have an event, product, business, talent, and/or something important to say, now is your chance. You can have your very own radio show. Whether you're just starting out or a veteran looking for a professional platform to enhance your presentation and following, the GoPro Radio Network is the premier place to cultivate and share new and exciting content. We can help you grow your audience and keep it growing long after your first broadcast. Now you have a voice. Call 646-415-0990 or go to www.goproradio.com. That's www.goproradio.com. You'll be amazed at how easy and affordable it is to have your own professional radio show on the fastest growing network in the galaxy. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head.
You're listening to content developed by the GoPro Radio Network, the fastest growing network in the galaxy. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head.
Hey! Tell Kevin we need to redo this wall!
We have to demo it all!
The electricians won't play ball!
Redesign the hall?
I'll tell Nathaniel.
Material recall.
Okie dokie.
They're gonna fire Paul.
What did I do?
Make it 3 feet tall!
3 meatballs?
Fire that directing rod!
Yeah, the pipe's too small!
Recall!
Hexagonal!
Horizontal?
Greg! Greg! We need to install
A waterfall.
Cool waterfall.
Be on the same page at every stage with Autodesk Construction Cloud.
Where's Paul?
The views and opinions expressed on GoPro Radio Network shows are solely those of the speakers and are not necessarily the views or opinions of GoPro Radio Network, Inc. or its affiliates. These broadcasts are provided on the understanding that they do not constitute professional advice or services. Individuals who speak on these broadcasts express their own opinions, experiences, and conclusions. GoPro Radio Networks and its affiliates do not necessarily endorse or oppose any particular opinion or conclusion discussed in these broadcasts. You may not edit or modify or redistribute these broadcasts in any way without the express permission from GoPro Radio, LLC. GoPro Radio assumes no liability for any of your activities in connection with our broadcast or for your use of these broadcasts in connection with your website, computer, smartphone, tablet, iPad, or future listening devices. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head.
I'm motivated purely out of love, passion, and concern for my people. I want to continue creating groundbreaking, trailblazing, brave, unapologetic works of art. So that one day, we can put us back together. One play, one song, one film at a time. Hello, I'm Carl Taze Ransom. Actor, singer, screenwriter, playwright, songwriter, filmmaker, director, model, podcast host, acting coach, and author.
You're listening to content developed by the GoPro Radio Network, the fastest growing network in the galaxy. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head.
Fellow citizens of Africa, I greet you in the name of the Universal Negro Improvement Association.
Spends a lifetime begging for acceptance into the same government that made slaves of his people.
Ladies and gentlemen, and brothers and sisters all, I'm very glad to be here this evening.
America has never really addressed the problem of justice for black people.
Today, minority children face inequalities in school spending and even more. They face punitive testing and accountability agendas.
When you elect these Negroes, you think that it's going to change our condition. It does not change.
We must never surrender. America will get better and better. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive.
All right, party people in the place to be. I am Tylon Xavier Washington, and you're tuned in to the Cumberland Only Cafe. We are on Zoom, and Facebook has blocked me from going live on Facebook. I got reported, and so they're messing with the algorithm. I can't do it. So this is going to be recorded, and then we'll probably post. See, it says, let me share my screen.
Hold on, don't forget, brother. I keep jumping on our case. We have to post these episodes to YouTube, dear brother.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, that's coming. I don't know if you, by next year, we're going to be full steam ahead on YouTube, beginning in January. I think the second week in January or so. But anyway, we're here. We're recording. We're recording it for posterity. By the way, folks, today is Wednesday, is December 20th, 2023. And we got a lot to talk about today. There is a lot going on. By the way, the music is provided by Five Soul Productions. He's a music producer, graphic designer. He's from France. He loves creating these incredible instrumental tracks that you hear in the background. Please support him. Support people who support us. And it's really great music. You get his music on Spotify, iTunes, and Pandora. folks who are just arriving, or this is your first time in the room, or we're going to say to everyone, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is where our conversations is always hot, black, and strong. Forget about spilling the tea. We don't just talk about people. We discuss events and ideas, like we're going to be talking a little bit today about what's really heating up all over, not just on the internet, but on television and everywhere else. People are talking about Jonathan Majors, but I want to talk about it in the context of, black men and our innocence. So we're going to talk about that. But we need less gossip. We need more positive, revolutionary solutions. And one way to really do that is just put together a room of really smart people who are passionate, people who really care about what happens to black folks and put black folks first. And if you want to nurture and help grow the Black Power ecosystem, you can do that by planting the seed of revolution in education, environment, global to local politics and policing, nutrition, and self-care. And you can do that by contributing to the Colored Only Cafe right now. And if you care about safe spaces for black people to network and intelligently discuss the ideas that matter to us, contribute right away, contribute right now. And you can do that by going to my Cash App. It's a $USAVIOR. That's USAVIOR. That's with the $ first, because whenever you doing things on Cash App, that's what you got to do. That's what you must do. I want to welcome everybody who's here. I want to welcome definitely Jacqueline Banner, who was first. She all the way on the West Coast. She's logged in, silent but deadly. We have the People's Advocate, Sonny B. Sutherland, is in the house. He has a show on on this program. His show is really irreverent. It's out of this world. It's called I Ain't Having It. And once you hear the show, you're going to know that he is definitely not having it. And then we have Deshaun Farad. He's going to be giving us Your Black World. What's up, Deshaun? How's it going? He is the consummate journalist in the spirit of Tony Brown. He's this generation's Tony Brown. And so we have him on the network delivering the news in just a moment. And then also, last but definitely not least, we have the elegant, the lady herself, Lydia Percy, is in the house. Welcome, Lydia. Welcome to the Colored Only Cafe. It's not the same without you as part of the panelists. I don't get a chance to really network and kind of talk to Deshaun like I want to, or Lydia. So this is really like a meeting place, a hub, if you will, of some of the best and brightest folks that I know. I've lived a long time, folks. I've traveled. I've been to Africa. I've been to Europe. I've been all over. But this is a group of people. When I say they are good people, they are good people. And guess what? They all have different ideas about different things. They all come together with different ideologies and so forth. But they've maintained a friendship with me. You know why? Because they have integrity. Because they're good people. And I want to share good people that I know with the world. I don't want to just have my friends in the box. So we have the Colored Only Cafe, where we come and we really just talk about the things, but we also do a lot, and we from now, every time we get an opportunity, we actually feature some of our panelists and just go into some of the things that they do. Just during the week, all the activism, all the creativity. Lydia is incredible. I almost feel like poet is a disservice. She's just like a wordsmith. She's just someone who is just really just excellent and has an elegance with the words and signs and the symbols and metaphors that she uses in her poetry. Outstanding work. So I'm so grateful to have her here. Also, like I said, Deshaun, I can't talk enough about, as you'll see as he gives us the rundown in just a minute. Sonny B. Sutherland just has a long legacy of working in not just the radio, but activism and music. Oh, man, he got some stories. And you can hear some of those stories on I Ain't Having It tomorrow night on the GoPro Radio Network from 10 p.m. till midnight. So please join us tomorrow. We love to share every now and then. If you're fortunate, we actually kick it a little bit about the legacy of some of this music and art that we hear. So, folks, before we get into our black world, where you give him just 15 minutes, he's going to give us the world. I want to just tell folks that we want to limit face muting. So if you guys can get on camera, that would be great. I understand Jacqueline is at work. She's always joining us. She works the night shift. I don't know if she want me to tell at the secret location, but if you're able to, you can get off of face mute so that we can see you. Be ready. Try not to have low light. By the way, folks who try to join with black screens without names or phone numbers, you will be sent to the waiting room or be booted from the Zoom. We also want you to keep your microphones muted until we unmute them, and mute them as you're entering the room. And make sure, folks, that your Wi-Fi signal is continuous and strong. I look back at some of the shows, and sometimes, right when it sounds like it's about to get good, someone's going to have a really good point or something I think important to share. That's when you get that breakup, and we don't want that, especially when we're going to be going to YouTube and we're going to be going to other platforms. We really want to have a polished product. So make sure your Wi-Fi signal is continuous and strong. And by the way, if someone is streaming video or gaming, that could diminish your signal. So if you live in a house with some young folks or old folks who likes gaming, or they're streaming on Netflix or whatever, that has a tendency to use a lot of your bandwidth. So make sure they're not doing that, especially if you want to make comments, because you want to be counted. You want to show up and be heard. And then also, if you can, move closer to your router. That's that little box that kind of came in with your service. That also helps out. And you know what? I'm going to be giving out little tips every now and then. That's going to help folks, just so that it's a better overall production. You're going to have a better experience. And like I said, when you want to share, it's going to be uninterrupted. By the way, get ready to take notes today, because there's going to be a lot of information, a lot of interesting tidbits. So have a piece of pen and paper ready if you can't use your smart device, okay? And then also keep your comments brief, because everyone's going to want to talk about this Jonathan Majors. There's a lot of ways to look at it, but I know in this room we're going to come up with some ways that some folks perhaps may not be really looking at this situation in the way that's relevant to the I would say the overall masses. So please, folks, feel free to make your voices known in the comment sections as well. I'm going to be, since we're not on Facebook, but I'm definitely read the comments that are in the room, or questions if you feel like we need to address, or you have something to say while, we may be moving on to another topic. But please put your questions, comments, and concerns, and also your contact information in the comment section so that we keep on networking. By the way, all participants, you grant irrevocable consent to be recorded by GoPro Radio. So I think it was like a few months ago, someone was like, I didn't give consent. Well, I say, look, when you join this show, you give GoPro Radio all the rights for broadcasting and rebroadcast, just like you would do on Facebook and anywhere else. And it's granted in perpetuity. I made up a new word. Perpetuity. That means like forever and ever throughout the world, to the GoPro Radio LLC and its affiliates. Okay, so let's have a really good time. And like I said, we're going to be going through some of the housekeeping. But without further ado, let's get into it, because I know we can't wait to talk about today's hot topic, which is why men can't be victims. We're going to be talking about that in the context of the Jonathan Major verdict and its impact, not so much on celebrity and people who are million and billionaires, but what does this mean for us? All right. So we're going to talk about that when we get back from Deshaun Farad. You give him 15 minutes. He'll give you our Black World.
Hotep Peace family. Hope everyone is having a wonderful week so far. Well, Christian Keys appears to confirm that Tyler Perry was not the Hollywood powerful man, as he put it, who harassed him. Days after he went live to detail years-long sexual harassment at the hands of a powerful billionaire, he liked the tweet about Perry not being his harasser. So far the tweet had read, Quote, watching Christian Keys and can tell he is clearly a victim, only $3 grand to his name and violated by a gay billionaire. And no, I don't believe it was Tyler Perry. I wish Christian would have taken action. That man will still have his money and good name, and Christian will remain broken, according to the tweet. That's actually according to It Is What It Is, the goddess, that is the name on Twitter. And Christian had actually liked the tweet. As you know, Christian right now, and this is one of the reasons why the $3 to his name doesn't make any sense. Christian right now was the creator of the Tyler Perry produced All the Queen's Men, a drama about male strippers. So in case you missed it, the actor held a live stream on Instagram last week to speak about a wealthy figure in the film industry who frequently made passes at him and even offered him $100,000 to strip and once tried grabbing his private parts. Keys claimed this individual was somebody who was greatly loved, and revealing their identity would have a significant impact on the entertainment industry. This sparked massive debates on social media regarding who it might be. Many believe the culprit was none other than Tyler Perry. Keys rose to fame through his work on the early Medea plays. He is also the creator, as I said, of All the Queen's Men. Therefore, it's unlikely that he was referring to Perry, but there are some who are saying that it's possible. And of course, this comes on the heels of the allegations made against P. Diddy regarding sexual assault, regarding allegations of sexual assault of women and men. Well, Dr. Umar Johnson told us to leave the snow bunnies alone for a reason regarding the latest drama concerning Jonathan Majors. He's been convicted of assault this week, of assault and harassment. Members of the community, of the legal community, believe that the actor will get little to any jail time and may have grounds for an appeal, though the career consequences of doing so may outweigh the benefits. The actor was found guilty of reckless assault in the 3rd degree and misdemeanor of harassment in the 2nd degree, which is a violation. The assault charge carries a maximum sentence of up to 1 year in jail, but several attorneys say they do not believe Majors will spend time behind bars. He is scheduled to be sentenced on February 6. According to a Manhattan-based civil rights attorney and criminal defense attorney at Showman and Hill, it says, quote, Carrie London, by the way, is the attorney's name. He says, since it's the defendant's first conviction, although technically he faces 1 year of jail, the judge will 99% give him 3 years probation, anger management, and possibly some community service. Still, other outside consequences have already begun to pile up for the actor. Shortly after the verdict was read, Marvel Studios dropped the actor as Kang the Conqueror from its upcoming Marvel Cinematic Universe films. Legal experts think Majors will likely appeal the conviction, pointing to missteps by his defense team of the charges themselves, in a case that has already had several unusual steps along the way. Now, keep in mind, a misdemeanor case going to trial, particularly a domestic violence case in New York, is already extremely rare, that according to London. In many misdemeanor cases, the defendant pleads guilty to a lesser charge in order to avoid the possibility of a harsher sentence. And of course, we don't know why, we don't have to, we don't have to mention why Majors is in this predicament. And this is one of the reasons why Umar Johnson says, leave the snow bunnies alone. Yesterday, in New York State, in Albany, New York State will create a commission tasked with considering reparations to address the persistent harmful effects of slavery in the state under a bill signed into law by Governor Kathy Hochul. It comes at a time when many states and towns throughout the U.S. attempt to figure out how to best reckon with the country's dark past, and follows in the footsteps of similar task forces established in California and Illinois. Now, Hochul, Governor Hochul, who's a Democrat, said yesterday, she said on Tuesday, quote, in New York, we like to think we're on the right side of this. Slavery was a product of the South, the Confederacy. She said this, she said, what is hard to embrace is the fact that our state also flourished from that slavery. It's not a beautiful story, but it is indeed the truth. And most people don't know, to this day, most Americans don't know that there was slavery in the North, and New York City was a major state that actually benefited from slavery in terms of the products, the goods. In Denver on Tuesday, as we always say, the Trump saga continues. A divided Colorado Supreme Court on Tuesday declared former President Donald Trump ineligible for the White House under the U.S. Constitution's insurrection clause and removed him from the state's presidential primary ballot, setting up a likely showdown in the nation's highest court to determine whether the front runner for the GOP nomination can remain in the race. The decision from a court whose justices were all appointed by Democratic governors marks the first time in history that Section 3 of the 14th Amendment has been used to disqualify a presidential candidate. The court wrote in its 4-3 decision, quote, "A majority of the court holds that Trump is disqualified from holding the office of president under Section 3 of the 14th Amendment." Colorado's highest court overturned a ruling from a district court judge who found that the former president incited an insurrection while he was president for his role in the January 6, 2021 attack on the Capitol, but said he could not be barred from the ballot because it was unclear that the revision was intended to cover the presidency. Like, really? So, of course, as you know, never a dull moment with Trump, he lashed out after the ruling. Okay, after the ruling, though the former president, pardon me, did not address the decision during a rally on Tuesday night in Iowa, where he went on abusive rants against immigration. He posted on his social media platform, Truth Social, today, quote, "What a shame for our country, a sad day for America." Noah Bookbinder, president of the watchdog group Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington, which brought the suit in Colorado on behalf of Republican and independent voters, praised the decision. It was, he said, not only historic and justified, but is also necessary to protect the future of democracy in our country. So keep in mind now, Republicans were among the people that were bringing this. And of course, as we know, this has kicked off a firestorm among Republicans and legal scholars. But as you can see, there's quite a few Republicans that are against Trump because he feels that they left a bad mark on their party. So Bookbinder went on to say, quote, "Our Constitution clearly states that those who violate their oath by attacking our democracy are barred from serving in government." Republicans have largely lined up behind Trump, railing against the ruling for allegedly infringing the right of Americans to choose their leaders. Elise Stefanik, who's a Republican representative from New York, said in a statement, quote, "Democrats are so afraid that President Trump will win on November 5th that they are illegally attempting to take him off the ballot." As we can see, she's in denial right now that there are many Republicans who also have a problem with him. Also, family, Anita Baker this week had to, as a result of her performance, caught much heat after concert goers accused her of being inebriated and showing bizarre behavior. She went to social media platform X to respond to critics and included lyrics from Beyonce's Heated, saying, quote, "When they realize they can't stop your blessings, they simply lie," as in liability. "Screenshots are forever. Lyrics, I'm as petty as you are." Baker's backlash online comes after video surfaced of her apparently telling a fan in the front row to stop recording her and move back. In another clip, someone spoke of the 65-year-old asking security to kick a few people out. One TikTok user said, quote, "I feel so bad for whoever had to really buy those tickets and waited to go see her. That woman sung 4 songs and I only knew 2. Caught up in a rapture and Angel, saying we ain't even got no sweet love. All we got was SHIT talking and her kicking people out. Crazy," according to her, crazy. That's what she said. Baker's latest blowback follows similar sentiments she received earlier this year while performing in New Jersey during her 15-date The Songstress tour. Concertgoers became disgruntled and disappointed after waiting 2 hours for Baker to hit the stage and not getting to see Babyface platform. Now, keep in mind, family, Anita Baker has always been known to have bad attitudes in the industry. Remember several months ago, there was some controversy between her and Babyface, but you know, she's a wonderful singer, but known for having a bad attitude. And we're going to conclude with this. This past Sunday in Brooklyn, at the historic House of the Lord Church, which is pastored or headed by the Reverend Dr. Herbert Daughtry, we paid tribute to various community members along with myself. The December 12th movement in Simultap, but specifically the December 12th movement had organized an event to pay tribute to Nyaba Arinde, journalist and editor Nyaba Arinde, journalist, but long-standing editor of the Amsterdam News. She had been there for 18 years and she recently left due to some controversy that I'm not going to get into right now, not because I'm afraid of anyone, it's just because we don't have the time. Nyaba Arinde, revolutionary journalist, warrior, she kept the Amsterdam News afloat, answering to no one except Eleanor Tatum, who was the publisher and the chief editor. And of course, she inherited the paper from her father, Bill Tatum. Nyaba Arinde had kept the publication afloat. I had the honor of working for Nyaba from 2000 to 2012. She literally was the doorway between the Amsterdam News and the Black activist community. She comes in a nationalist tradition, Pan-Africanist tradition. She's a member of D12. The December 12th movement and Simultap, who put the organization on, who put the event on, although it was primarily December 12th. December 12th is ran by founded by Sister Viola Plummer. Okay, our sister is 90 years old, and of course, Simultap is headed by our revolutionary psychiatrist brother, Dr. James McIntosh. Several people spoke, including me. Dr. Herbert Daughtry spoke. There were members of the Nation of Islam there. Mosque number 7 was there. Members of ASCAC. Various activists gave tribute to Nyaba, and it also reiterated the importance of Black people controlling our own outlets, because currently right now the Amsterdam News is being controlled by a white woman. And so that's another discussion. I'm Dashawn Farad. You're listening to Our Black World, Hotep Black Power.
Oh man, that sounds like the show right there, man. Wow. I did not know that the publication is in control of those folks. So it's sort of like the Apollo. It was in control of one group, and then now the Apollo was taken over, and it's never been the same ever since. And same thing is going on with all of our institutions, or that were considered at least our institutions. I just think, we got to do a show about that. But anyway, thank you so much to Sean Farad. We're going to be right back, folks. I'm trying to work out these technical issues. I'm texting a little bit with what's these folks over at Facebook. I want to show you guys so you can see, pretty much what happens. I don't know if you guys can you guys see the screen? See, this is what happens when we try to. They took off my activation.
Yes, we see your screen.
You should be able to see it. It says app not active. Yeah, so we won't be able to do Facebook. Ron, can you do Facebook? I wonder if you can, and you're the co-host, see if you can join Facebook and get the content out that way. But anyway, yeah. So I'm in I guess Facebook jail for sharing or whatever the case might be. But anyway, folks, this is the Colored Only Cafe where the conversation's always hot, black and strong. We're going to be right back in just a few minutes, and we're going to get into the hot topic. I mean, is this going to be a super hot conversation? Because everybody's talking about it, but I think a lot of people are missing some very important, very, very important things. So we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere, and see you in a minute.
You're listening to content developed by the GoPro Radio Network, the fastest growing network in the galaxy. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you a great opportunity. If you have an event, product, business, talent, and/or something important to say, now is your chance. You can have your very own radio show. Whether you're just starting out or a veteran looking for a professional platform to enhance your presentation and following, the GoPro Radio Network is the premier place to cultivate and share new and exciting content. We can help you grow your audience and keep it growing long after your first broadcast. Now you have a voice. Call 646-415-0990 or go to www.goproradio.com. That's www.goproradio.com. You'll be amazed at how easy and affordable it is to have your own professional radio show on the fastest growing network in the galaxy. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head.
You're listening to content developed by the GoPro Radio Network, the fastest growing network in the galaxy. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head.
Hey! Tell Kevin we need to redo this wall! We have to demo it all!
The electricians won't play ball!
Redesign the hall?
I'll tell Nathaniel.
Material recall. Okie dokie.
They're gonna fire Paul.
What did I do?
Make it 3 feet tall!
Creepy balls! Fire directing wall!
Yeah, the pipe's too small!
Recall!
Hexagonal!
Horizontal?
Greg! Greg! We need to install
a waterfall.
Cool waterfall.
Be on the same page at every stage with Autodesk Construction Cloud.
Where's Paul?
The views and opinions expressed on GoPro Radio Network shows are solely those of the speakers and are not necessarily the views or opinions of GoPro Radio Network Inc. or its affiliates. These broadcasts are provided on the understanding that they do not constitute professional advice or services. Individuals who speak on these broadcasts express their own opinions, experiences, and conclusions. GoPro Radio Networks and its affiliates do not necessarily endorse or oppose any particular opinion or conclusion discussed in these broadcasts. You may not edit or modify or redistribute these broadcasts in any way without the express permission from GoPro Radio, LLC. GoPro Radio assumes no liability for any of your activities in connection with our broadcast or for your use of these broadcasts in connection with your website, computer, smartphone, tablet, iPad, or future listening devices. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head.
Neck pain. Back pain. Ouch. But now there's PillowMax, the new armrest pillow. PillowMax provides full arm and elbow support while driving. One size fits all.
PillowMax is the perfect remedy for neck, low back, and trap pains while traveling in your car. I recommend the PillowMax to all my patients.
PillowMax comes in black and white and has a machine washable cover.
PillowMax is awesome.
PillowMax. PillowMax.
Available at retailers worldwide.
You're listening to content developed by the GoPro Radio Network, the fastest growing network in the galaxy. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head.
All right. We are back. We are black. This is the Colored Only Cafe where the conversations always have black and strong. I'm your host, Tylon Washington, along with my co-host, Dr. Christopher Osborne-Williams. He's in the head house. Welcome one and welcome all. This is going to be a very, very, very important show. But before we get into the hot topic of the day that I'm quite sure we're all going to want to discuss and talk about it, and I want to just give a huge shout out to the folks at Pillow Talk. Pillow Talk, oh man, great people who've decided to advertise with us. One of our premier advertisers, and premier meaning one of the first to kind of jump in and support. And you know what? Now I want to mention too to that they didn't hem and haw about your numbers. They didn't want to go talk about all this other kind of stuff that I think a lot of people want to get into. Oh well, this, that, and the other. They took a what do you call it? A leap of faith. They knew that although they were advertising that what do you call that? That they were helping and supporting another small business. So it's like a business to business. And so I just wanted to really just thank them and let them know that I do appreciate that kind of spirit when it comes to advertising. You know, there was no hemming and hawing and all this other kind of stuff. And then also, I want to mention the folks. We got new advertisers that kind of came in, and I want to just acknowledge the people who help us to keep going. And one of those people, a big limo. I took it today. I had a doctor's appointment all the way in the Bronx, and the Uber was too much. The Lyft was a little bit better, but it's a place called Big Limo, and I'm putting you guys onto game right now. Their number is 646-828-9779. I'm telling you, it was cheaper than Uber and Lyft, and it was called Big Limo. And when they say Big Limo, it wasn't a limo, but it might as well. I had two different drivers, but the cars were not only clean, but it was elegant. So I felt like a dignitary. It was a black. Matter of fact, when they text you, they let you know the vehicle and they give you the telephone number. It was a Highlander. It was really nice, a comfortable ride. The guy was really a gentleman. The service, like I said, to door. When I was crossing the street going back, the guy got out the car and he was like directing traffic, like, let him pass. So I felt important. So I want to give them a big shout out for those folks over at Big O Limo. It's called BIGO Limo. Number, once again, 646-828-9779. Let me give that number out again. 646-828-9779. And just tell them that you heard about them on the GoPro Radio's The Colored Only Cafe. All right, guys. So definitely support those people who support us. That helps us to get better. We're going to see all kinds of new improvements for 2024. When you go to GoPro Radio Network, when you go to GoProRadio.com, you're going to see all kinds of new and fun widgets and gadgets and things to do. We're going to be moving to 24 hours, guys, meaning that when you go to the station, there's going to be music and news and so much other really great things going on. We're really growing the network at GoPro Radio. And thanks to all of our advertisers and people who are supporting, sponsors, people who allow us to do honorable mentions, like Big O Limo. So yeah, thanks a lot. Okay, guys. So without further ado, let's get into the conversation. Like I said, everyone's been talking about it, but I love this group of people because in this room we have some really brilliant people, brilliant minds, folks who are in the entertainment industry. We got Caltaze Ransom. Caltaze, you missed it. We ran your commercial on the show on the top part. Jacqueline Banner is here. Quinn Alston. Also, Sonny's been in the industry as a radio personality. He's broken quite a few records, including what Love Is the Message, one of my favorite songs. And then we also have Lydia Percy, who's a writer and poet, a consummate poet, and we got consummate journalist Deshaun Farad. Now, everyone's been talking about the Jonathan Majors, but they're talking I think from a fan point of view, if a celebrity and people are fans, and I'm not knocking folks who are on this panel who like his work and all this other kind of stuff, but I think he should listen to Umar Johnson. They'll get snow bunnied, fellas. That's bad. That's just it's just horrible. It's just bad. It's just bad. But what I'd like to talk about, and today's topic in relationship to Jonathan Majors, is why black men can't be victims. Why we can't be victims. And not only that, why are we guilty until proven innocent? Why is that accepted?
Well, first of all,
some people say, "Hey, Tylon, it is what it is, and just accept it's the way that it is, the way that it is." That's not right. So I want to play this clip real quick, and then I'm going to get you guys folks thoughts on it. But I want us to be focused on this question: why black men can't be victims? Why is it impossible? Why are we always considered the boogeyman, the monsters in the room, and all this other kind of stuff? Especially since we're thought leaders on this, and not only thought leaders, on this subject, people who are in the entertainment industry. So let's check out the clip, and we'll get right back to the question. let me know if you guys could see my screen. If you could hear it.
And I'm Terry Miranda. We've got some breaking news. The jury in the Jonathan Majors domestic violence trial has found him guilty
Can you guys give me a thumbs up if you can hear it and see it?
of one count of assault and one count of harassment, but acquitted him of another count of assaulting his former girlfriend. This comes after jurors spent 4 or 5 hours deliberating over portions of several days. And this is a case that has gotten a lot of attention. Jonathan Majors, a major rising star, and he met a crisis in this, and the jury has now returned with its verdict.
And there was a lot of talk about this trial impacting his future in the movie business. Rising star within the Marvel movies. Our legal contributor, Brian Buckmeyer, has been following this from the very beginning as well. So I guess let's first of all talk about the charges here. Brian, your first reaction.
So we'll get back to Brian, but I just wanted to kind of go over so we know we're all on the same page, just in case, especially my filmmaker buddies who are always working on projects. And sometimes when people don't understand, it's very possible for you to be working on a project and not know what the hell is going on in the world, especially if you're like me, when you get that tunnel vision and you're working and working and working. Sometimes people have to call you and say, oh, man, did you know there's a fire right down the block from where you live? I'm like, oh, no, I know I smell smoke. I thought it was a barbecue. But sometimes when you're working hard, you don't know what the heck is going on. So I wanted to kind of just briefly, then we're going to go into what this commentator had to say. So let me say, we all are aware of this topic, but I think it actually speaks to how we are guilty before proven innocent. And in addition to that, it's impossible for black men to be victims. What's your thoughts on this? Let's go to Deshaun first.
Well, Tylon, just to let you know, remember soon we're going to have to do a full show on this. I contacted, last night I spoke with our brother, a friend of the show, Dr. Cleo Monago, about this, but his scheduler didn't get back to me.
Okay.
I spoke with him, but then he told me to contact his scheduler, but the scheduler didn't get back to me. But anyway, dear brother, what caused me to contact Cleo and to actually, and of course, Tylon, you and I, in months past, had said that we were going to do a full show on that. But what reignited that in me once again is how our brother Christian Keys is being dealt with. Now, whether or not he's making it up, some people saying that he was just playing the game. It was still amazing to me how last week when he did his over 1 hour video, in the comments section, there were people mocking him. There were men and women mocking him. And so every time a black man says that he's assaulted, it's always, well, first of all, men, period, but specifically black men, because we are always maligned. We're the one who are always portrayed as the rapists, sexual assaulters, et cetera, et cetera. And that black femicide crowd and the Vesta crowd, that's what that's what motivates them the most. Now, of course, we do know that there are black men that hurt black women. There are also white men that hurt white women and Asian men that hurt Asian women. It's proximity. It's not because black men are special. We just we have something in our DNA that causes us to be violent towards our women. Men, period, historically have been violent towards women. And the thing that sickens me is that black men are singled out for doing the same things that other men, white men in particular, have been doing for centuries. So since black men are seen as this, and I wrote an article about this some time ago, many black feminists, many black femicide people, these divestors who are encouraging black women to get with white Zati, they literally hold the belief that the black man is the devil. And so we can do, you know how they say someone can do no wrong? We can do no right in their eyes. Black men are just bad, bad, bad. And as Sister Shahrazad Ali stated 30 years ago, she said that black women have been conditioned to seeing black men as being bad, bad, bad. So since we are bad, 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 anything bad that happens to us, it is already justified from within our own community. And so for a while on social media, you actually had a lot of these, a lot of crazy sisters, and as Tariq Nasheed pointed out, many of them are not from this country, referring to black men as bullet bags. And they don't represent all black men. Something that Tariq Nasheed had said some time ago, and he said this before COVID, is that, unfortunately, it's being presented as if though these type of black women represent all black women, but it's actually a small group but they appear to be gaining momentum. And a lot of that is being backed by white zaddy. You understand where I come from? A lot of these women are, have white boyfriends, white husbands, et cetera, et cetera. And of course, there's never anything wrong when a white man does something horrific.
Including when a white man does something horrific to a black woman.
Talk about it. That's what I meant. That's what I meant, Cortez, definitely.
Black people get real quiet when a cracker man attacks black women. Other black men get quiet, and black women get silent when a white man attacks black women. And as far as this case about black men being guilty until proven innocent, we're not just guilty until proven innocent. We're still considered guilty after being proven innocent. Okay. I mean, look at how they still talk about Michael Jackson to this day, right? I mean,
right.
it came out that he was innocent, not just only proven innocent in the so-called court of law, but it also came out that those white guys were lying on him. Some of them even admitted that their parents made them lie on Michael because they was trying to extort money from Michael. But even after all that came out, people still want to say he was molesting these children, even though it was proven that he was not. And also with this case, they just wanted to get a black man because that white bitch, she, there was charges pressed against her for assaulting him. She went on the run, okay? She fled the country running because she didn't want to be arrested, okay? So when she comes back, they promise her that she wouldn't be prosecuted for assaulting him because all their main focus was just getting him.
Yeah, we're gonna delve into that a little bit later on as well. Let's hear it from another filmmaker, Quinn Alston. What's your thoughts?
What's happening, bro? I'm a little effed up at this. I really am. One, I saw the video. I don't know if you guys actually saw the video of them fleeing the car.
Yeah, he's running.
Yeah, he's running, and she's actually chasing him.
Yep.
She's chasing him. How in the hell do you assault somebody who is chasing you? I mean, maybe it's more that I just don't understand, but at the beginning of the day, he shouldn't have been with her ass. At the beginning of the day, he should not have been with her ass.
Exactly.
You know, so, I mean,
and even the driver corroborated the story that she assaulted him.
Right. Let's hear from Sonny B. Sutherland from the People's Advocacy Group. Also has a program on our network called I Ain't Having It, which could be seen every Thursday without fail from 10 p.m. till midnight and beyond, because we go all the way over. Have you been keeping up with the case, and what are your thoughts? And here's the question: why black men can't be
you really want to hear my thoughts?
Well, you sure do.
Do you really? Y'all know how I am. You mess with those snow bunnies, anything liable to happen. And this darky forgot what happened to Emmett Till. Okay, so you get these people that are they're not educated, and they go out there and they want to play the game. And then when they get caught up in the game and they get played, now they want to cry.
Yeah, let's hear from the sisters. Lydia. Let's hear from the sister. Lydia, have you been following the case? And I want to ask you the question, why black men can't be victims?
Am I clear? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. Well, black men, unfortunately, cannot be a victim. And then I'll just share a personal case, which was instigated with my son. Like, some young women know that even if a black man yells at them or has some sort of discussion that elevates, they can still be arrested, and it's unfortunate. And this system that we live in, and you know, it's really unfortunate because with an incident with my son, and he's a young man, he actually had to let this young lady go because she wanted to get in the middle of the street and start slapping on his car, yelling at him so he could get out the car and talk to her. And he didn't do that. And of course, that was good for him because it can lead to other things. So Black men can be a victim. They even have an trial that's coming up on Court TV with this influencer from Miami, I believe. And she killed the brother, actually. And she's going up on charges. I can't remember her name. I don't know if you remember the incident that happened in Miami.
I don't know, but we'll definitely look it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's cases like that all over. And matter of fact, there's 3 cases in New York from the same district attorney in Manhattan, Alvin Bragg. I mean, there's a lot of corruption, and I want to get into that because I think it's not enough for us to say, well, it's terrible, it's no better, or brother, just stay away from. Just keep your head down. Don't look in the eyes, and don't that kind of mentality that's kind of like echoed in terms of the sentimentality about how we move forward. We should be able to. Not that I recommend it. I'm an advocate of what Umar pushes out. Don't get snow bunny. I was damn near snow bunnied. I'm gonna share my story a little bit later on the discussion. But that's after we come back from a quick commercial break. We're gonna play a little bit more of this clip because what the commentator said is something very important that I think is just more relevant, not too much for the whole celebrity aspect of Jonathan Majors and all that, but I think we better listen in. I'm talking to all the regular folks, the Pookie and Ray Rays. I call myself Pookie Ray. I'm a fan, but of Pookie and Ray Ray, because I'm a fan of. They represent the average, a person, who don't have a lot of means, trying to get by, struggling, and then they come across the system, and then they get caught up in the system. But anyway, folks, this is the Colored Only Cafe where the conversation is always hot, black, and strong. I'm your host, Tylon. You see if you're watching along with Dr. Christopher Osborne-Williams. And don't go anywhere. Like I said, this conversation is going to get even hotter.
You're listening to content developed by the GoPro Radio Network, the fastest growing network in the galaxy. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head.
Neck pain. Back pain. Ouch. But now there's PillowMax, the new armrest pillow. PillowMax provides full arm and elbow support while driving. One size fits all.
PillowMax is the perfect remedy for neck, low back, and trap pains while traveling in your car. I recommend the PillowMax to all my patients.
PillowMax comes in black and white and has a machine washable cover.
PillowMax is awesome.
PillowMax. Available at retailers worldwide.
The views and opinions expressed on GoPro Radio Network shows are solely those of the speakers and are not necessarily the views or opinions of GoPro Radio Network Inc. or its affiliates. These broadcasts are provided on the understanding that they do not constitute professional advice or services. Individuals who speak on these broadcasts express their own opinions, experiences, and conclusions. GoPro Radio Networks and its affiliates do not necessarily endorse or oppose any particular opinion or conclusion discussed in these broadcasts. You may not edit or modify or redistribute these broadcasts in any way without the express permission from GoPro Radio, LLC. GoPro Radio assumes no liability for any of your activities in connection with our broadcast or for your use of these broadcasts in connection with your website, computer, smartphone, tablet, iPad, or future listening devices. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head.
Hey! Tell Kevin we need to redo this wall!
We have to demo it all! The electricians won't play ball!
Redesign the hall?
I'll tell Nathaniel. Material recall. Okie dokie. They're gonna fire Paul. What did I do?
Make it 3 feet tall!
3 meatballs?
Fire that directing rod!
Yeah, the pipe's too small!
Recall!
Hexagonal!
Horizontal?
Greg! Greg! We need to install
a waterfall.
Cool waterfall.
Be on the same page at every stage with Autodesk Construction Cloud.
Where's Paul?
You're listening to content developed by the GoPro Radio Network, the fastest growing network in the galaxy. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head.
I'm motivated purely out of love, passion, and concern for my people. I want to continue creating groundbreaking, trailblazing, brave, unapologetic works of art. So that one day, we can put us back together. One play, one song, one film at a time. Hello, I'm Carl Taze Ransom, actor, singer, screenwriter, playwright, songwriter, filmmaker, director, model, podcast host, acting coach, and author.
You're listening to content developed by the GoPro Radio Network, the fastest growing network in the galaxy. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head.
All right. We are back. We are black, and this is the Color Only Cafe. Yes, we have a room of some wonderful folks who are in the entertainment business. Specifically, filmmakers are here. We have Sonny B. Sutherland in the house. We have a writer, the consummate premier, I would say, journalist, Deshaun Farad is here, along with Venus is in the house, has joined us now. Brother Pete is here with us, and we're talking about why black men can't be victims, and we're talking about why we are guilty until proven innocent. And as Cortez said, even when we're proven innocent, we're still guilty. All you have to do is be accused, believe all women, particularly white, if they're white, disbelieve and incarcerate as many black men as you possibly can get your hands on. And when is some of these things going to change? So the question to our panelists for today's topic is, why black men can't be victims. In the context of this very interesting Jonathan Majors, everybody's talking about it, but they're talking about it from the standpoint of his celebrity, his career, Marvel. I don't give a damn about Marvel. I've never ever met Jonathan Majors. Don't care about that. What I do care about is when we, as a collective consciousness, see this and what we say in response to this, and why is there no resistance protocol? It's just, well, that's just how it is. We know that's how it goes. You know what could happen, or he had no business, man. But we don't recognize that if this can happen to somebody who is a millionaire or whatever, it's like I guess we don't stand a chance. All right, so we're gonna go back to this clip. Hopefully you guys can share my screen, and hopefully you guys can hear the audio, but I want you to check out what this commentator had to say.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of scratching my head just because I'm looking at the different charges, and let me break it down and explain. There are two different assaults here. One is intentional assault and one is reckless assault. Based on the number order that they're telling us, my guess, and please someone correct me if I'm wrong, is they're acquitting him of intentional assault, but finding him guilty of reckless assault, meaning that he just did something he should have known better, and it caused the injury of Grace Jabari. Then he's found not guilty of aggravated assault, which is to alarm, annoy, harass, or threaten someone and subject them to physical violence. But he's not guilty of that, but he is guilty of alarming and annoying Grace Jabari. To me, this sounds like we call it a King Solomon decision. They literally just split the baby and said half and half, but some of the convictions and some of the acquittals don't really make sense when you put them all together.
Well, Brian, let me try to make a little sense. I wonder, I don't know the exact fact pattern since I wasn't in the courtroom, but couldn't you say that in the fury of domestic dispute, he was reckless in his handling, in his physical handling of Jabari, and that was That was the reckless assault. And the harassment is he lost his temper rather than consciously went after her. Does that make sense?
No, because it would make sense for the reckless and then the aggravated harassment, because the aggravated harassment is harassing someone through physical violence. So why find him guilty of assaulting recklessly, but not guilty of harassing someone through physical force? That's the part that I'm thinking someone just kind of said, you know what, we'll find him guilty for two, but not guilty for these two. But it could work. Someone's got to talk to the jury, I guess.
Yeah. Let's talk about the evidence, because there was clearly clashing narrative from both sides. We had video, audio, text, photos. Do we have that video? Okay, this is some of the photos that we had here of the bruises and the cuts. This is the video that I'm talking about. I mean, this was probably one of the most powerful pieces of the evidence that they played in court, Brian.
Look at chasing it. It's crazy.
Watching some of this video being played to the jury, and I think it was difficult for both the prosecution and the defense to really articulate this video in a way that really moved the jury. And I think ultimately the jury kind of took this case into their own hands. We saw that from the jury notes, saying we want all of the evidence, pretty much video, testimony, 911 calls, and they decided for themselves. For me, is this Jonathan Majors assaulting his then girlfriend, then running away, or is this him trying to stop her from stealing, or I guess re-stealing his cell phone and getting away from her? The juxtaposition of how this was presented to the jury, I think, is what caused the deliberation to take so long.
And there's a state of mind, obviously, that the prosecution would have to prove, right? And so here they are. She has seen the
Okay, I'm just going to stop it right there because we're going to, get into it, like some of the legal, issues of it. Hold on one second. Sonny, because Sonny has actually worked for many, many years in the family court system. He's actually worked with several clients. I know he worked on me with my domestic violence case. Do you see any changes, Sonny, in with regard to like the laws and what you saw right there? Clearly you have a video, and this is my frustration, is because this is played out all the time. You can actually have, as a black man, Jesus Christ next to you and say he's totally innocent, and it doesn't mean anything.
Absolutely. White people are the right people, and everything they say and do is correct, and everything we say and do is not correct. And it takes 100 of us to go against one white person. Just one white person.
Now, wasn't that like the Scottsboro case, right? It kind of reminds me of, when I say the Scottsboro brothers.
Right. Remember who the DA is. He's already sick in the head. So this case goes along with just his mentality.
You're talking about
he's running his
Bragg there, out in New York. Yeah, there's several cases, and there's one case. I'm going to try to look that up when we go to our next break. That I think people, we're talking about, Jonathan Majors because he's a big star, but there's another one that is just as outrageous, if not. They knew that this person was innocent, said that we will not prosecute you only if you do not ever say that you were innocent of these charges. It's really outrageous with these people in these high offices, so-called high, but they have decision. I'll put it this way. They have powerful positions and powerful decision-making on what can happen to the rest of someone's life. And
I just want to say that, no, I'm sorry, but I just want to say that this is what happens when young people get into the entertainment business. They don't know how to act. They don't know how to respond. They don't know how to deal with certain situations. And they actually, I'm not saying they create problems for themselves, but they go into this industry that is really fickle to begin with, and they don't know how to navigate. And young people shouldn't be in the entertainment business unless they have a mentor or someone that's showing them how to react and how to grow up in the industry without any incidents.
So here's the question. Two other panelists have joined us for the conversation. I want to welcome Brother Pete, who brings the heat out in Washington, D.C., and also Jada Pro is here. And I know those two brothers are already familiar with the case. And what I would like us to focus on, if we can, less of the celebrity and all this other kind of, because I'd like to talk about real impact to the lumped proletariat, the average guy, or not so average in many instances, black folks who don't have the celebrity, don't have the media machine that like a Jonathan Majors bring, but using and looking at what has happened and then having that juxtaposed or in the context of if you or I were, to be in a situation or a similar situation, there's just zero wins. But not only that, it seems like nobody's doing anything about it. It's like, well, we've taken it as, okay, well, yeah, that's just how it is. Although like I said, I absolutely agree. He should not be Snow Bunny. But I'm saying at the same time, what about other folks who are in similar situations and there is no expectation of fairness, and we're acting like that's normal? Here's a whole mantra out there that says "believe all women." How is that appropriate? What if there was something that said "believe all men"? Believe all. You have to. Everything should be about law. And trust me, I don't have these glasses that see things as pretty and pink. I understand, but I'm saying, when do we take charge? When do we stand up, and when do we fight? When do we fight back?
Well,
what do you think?
That's a tough one. I'm gonna tell you that just to interject, that's a tough one because the state of New York is a female state, and guys should understand that whatever you do, you're in a female state, not a state of mind, but everything is the female is considered right, no matter what she does.
Yeah, but that's exactly my point. I'm saying, look, I don't want a believe all men state. I want things to be about justice, truth, and what's right, what someone's able to prove without a shadow of doubt.
It's not going to be equal justice. I go through this all the time with matrimonial cases because the females vote. Guys don't vote like females vote. Guys don't show up for all these protests and rallies on the same level as females. So now the politicians know this. So the politicians pander, cater, however you want to put it, to the female. That's why New York State is a female state. When a guy does something, he has to be extremely, extremely careful because he's going to be looked at, as you said, the boogeyman.
Okay, let's hear from Brother Pete. Are you there with us? Are you able to speak? Can you get off mute? Are you able to? Or Jada Pro, can you hear? And can you unmute yourself?
I'm off mute.
Okay, great. Have you been hearing the conversation, or you want me to ask you the question?
Yeah, please give me the question because I'm late.
I know you got the other show right before this, but the question is going out, and there's also in the context of what everybody's talking about all over the internet. I thought we'd do a little bit different or talk a little bit differently than the other networks and talk about why black men can't be victims and why are we guilty before proven innocent as opposed to innocent. Now, trust me, I don't have any blinders on. I'm asking that question because I want us to have a conversation that's going to lead to some kind of action, because I'm just tired of people just accepting it and saying, well, that's just how it is. I'm hearing that a lot. Well, hey, look, Tylon, you know what that's what it is. I mean, hey, this is America. I mean, look, it was rooted in this, that, and the other. And then nothing happens. It's just like you just keep going into the grinder. And what I'm thinking about is the people that come behind us. So, back to why can't, why black men can't be victims, Brother Pete?
Can't be victims because that's the easiest way to control the race that we are in. I mean, you have to look at it the way that it really is. I keep saying, and I'm gonna keep saying this. We are afraid to look at that word genocide. Genocide is the whole key. Once we understand what genocide is and the genocidal approaches that are inflicted upon our people, we'll understand how to combat it, how to get out of it, how to deal with it.
Right.
And when I say deal with it, I don't mean accept it. I mean, we'll learn how to deal with it, to push it back and say, no, we're not accepting this shit no more. We keep accepting it.
Right.
I mean,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. We got exactly, says Lydia Percy. Oh, by the way, Lydia also said the prosecutors in South Florida announced a second-degree murder charge this Thursday against a social media model Courtney Clenny, and she is connected with the fatal stabbing of her live-in boyfriend, Miami-Dade State Attorney Catherine Fernandez Randall announced the charges against the 26-year-old, I guess, model during a news conference. Cheney, I think, arrested Wednesday in Hawaii. Fernandez Randall said Clenny, who goes by the name of Courtney Taylor on a platform as OnlyFans, remained jailed in Hawaii while authorities seek her extradition to Florida. Yeah, I'd like to see, how that, case pans out. But I just want to also, I don't know if Jay, you can hear me. You have all of these stars and celebrities that, not only have, beat women and they admitted it and all this. And we got this guy, Ezra, I can't remember. He played the Flash. And he's another cinematic hero who's white, and his career is never threatened. He's been arrested and let go so many times. He's like Robert Downey. I mean, the list goes on with all the white male actors who get in trouble, seem to have their careers. No one ever threatens to take their job. Well, Jay, are you there?
I'm here.
Yeah. So, we see these disparities always played out. And I think what's happening when we see them, Jay, I think that they're normalized, right? That's signal to us that, okay, that's just how it is. When are we going to move from that's how it is to changing the narrative?
We'll move when we realize our masculinity is being villainized. But we're being villainized for our masculinity. Okay. And also, like, when you compare, see, it's hard to compare what white people have going on because they have resources, they have money. They lawyer up real quick. And they put gag orders on shit where we don't know what's going on. See, a lot of times we're reacting to the situation, not realizing we're already the villain. So, and kind of like what Sonny said earlier, these kids are being put into these situations where they're superstars, right? They're put in front of the camera at all times. You're seeing their personal lives and things like that, and they don't really know how to deal with it. But if you know that they're going to treat you as a villain sooner or later, you need to take the proper precautions to get to prevent it, to avoid it. You know what I'm saying?
Tylon.
Yeah, go ahead, Ron.
Well, I can't, what? I'm so. All right. So, I mean, for one, man, we continue to think, if you don't know your history, your future is doomed.
That's right.
The biggest problem that you have in this situation, in any situation, resolving a black man, a black woman. Listen, we can't compare what white people do or what they did or don't do because the laws was made for them to be able to do whatever they want. Every law that was made for them to do whatever they need to do and whatever they want to do to us, the reverse law was made that if we did anything remotely close to that, we need to be hanging from a tree. That's facts. It's not something I'm breaking up. And right. So when we start really thinking about this, one of the ways we resolve this is people really begin to really study our history. Stop trying to be close to the whiteness and really evaluate what it means to be black in America. That's the big problem. We want to know what it means to be white in America. But guess what? Being white in America means destruction, means oppression of other people. It doesn't mean resilience. It doesn't mean finding a way out of nothing. It means taking advantage. So it's this idea that, I see all the glitz and glamour. I'd rather be with the white one. Listen, I don't mean to be. Anytime a brother go down, it's not good. But listen, brother, you know what I'm saying. And then you come after you going down with the white bunny. Now you're gonna go and get the other black chick and be like,
go home. You go home.
Come on, dog. Let's stop for a minute.
Yeah, it's like OJ and what's it when he got his little diaper buddy? What was his name? with the Broncos.
Yeah, man.
They all go back home. But
You're killing me with that.
But to your point, right? Can you go into? I would like you to go into, if you will, a little bit on what do we do to change it. It seems for those who know, when we understand it, is it just enough, Ron, to say, okay? Because I know we get the history, right? What's the actionable steps to change that? So let's say, our kith and kin.
I bet you right now, and we see this all the time. I bet you right now, he know everything black, and that's the problem. Why we have to wait to get something done to us to know ourselves? Why we got to go back to basics? The basics should have been that from the beginning. We have to listen. Knowledge of self is supreme. And if we keep on downgrading the knowledge of ourselves and who we are, the biggest lie in America, is that someone else created everything in America. Only one person created everything in America. That's Black Americans. The descendants of enslaved people created everything that is in America today that you have that's great. Everything. And again, we didn't create. And the other part that makes it ethic is that it wasn't created out of greed. It was created out of stability, sustainability. It was created out of necessity. And the man that the things that we had back in 500, the things we had back in 200, the empires we had, like the empires like the Ghanaian Empire that people don't even know exists. They think it's Ghana. No, the Ghanaian Empire, the great empires. Those things that we had then is in our DNA. And so when we were brought into an oppressive situation, all it did was activate the creativity of what we had. So that's the problem. We have to people got to get that third eye open. They got to get their mindset open. They got to really begin to believe and get out of, I want to be like white people. I want to live the American dream. The American dream is you. Listen, the American dream. And this is the most craziest thing that people don't realize. The American dream is the Black enslaved person, that they would even still be here and still not getting shit for it.
I was about to say the American dream is our nightmare. The American dream is a Black man's nightmare.
And you have to be asleep to believe it.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. So is it fair to say, right, from what I've been hearing, and I've been taking notes, right, is that we have to absolutely understand our history. I'm with you, and I think everybody here is with you with that. And I think we heard from Brother Pete understanding genocide, right? Right. And I think, Lydia said 100%, absolutely, facts. We all agree. What one of the things I'm not hearing is a resistance sort of action plan. Like, I've been in part of meetings with white folks when they want to do certain things, whether it's a liberal, I work with the International Action Center. I work with a lot of, Socialist Revolutionary Party, a lot of folks. And I noticed that in their meetings, they have action and actionable things. And I think a lot of times when we're in a meeting, it's theoretical. It's philosophical. And I think that sometimes that's why things have a tendency to stay the same, because the onus is on us. If we just do some more research, if we look more inward, if we open up our third eye, if we sit and we pray, or we go to church. I'm saying these are things that I've heard.
Divest. Tylon, the answer is to divest. The answer is divest. But guess what? Too many of us are too interconnected. Listen, I want to really put this in real live perspective of how you can understand it. Even our fellow Pan-African brothers and sisters, right? At any moment they're ready to divest from America with all the money they have in their possession. The problem with the Black Negro of America, so many of us are interconnected to believing that we were created in America. So the idea of saying, I'm going to divest somewhere means that, oh, I don't have anywhere to go. Well, that's the problem. We do. We can divest right here in America, but we have to take the spirit of divesting into our own who we are. But we don't want to do that because we enjoy all the luxuries of the plantation. We enjoy to be able to go from being in the field and in the shack to be able to sleep in the back of the house on the plantation, because then we start feeling better about ourselves. We start having self-esteem instead of remembering that the people that was staying in the field and in the huts, they had self-esteem because they was getting the hell out of there when they were going to run away. They didn't have to.
Well, you know, I have sons, and I think many of us on this call have sons. And, you know, I wrote today to say that, you know, they're faced and confronted with a similar situation.
All right, yeah, let me get out of here.
And I want to, huh?
No, go ahead.
Okay, so, you know, I love that idea of divesting. Deshaun, I know you had you wanted to respond. We're going to get ready to. You got the last 3 minutes, Deshaun, before we go to that next break.
Tylon, I don't want to. I'm sorry, Tylon. No, hold 1 second, no, Tylon, my hand was already raised. I already spoke.
Oh, okay. So, so you know what we're going to do, folks? We're going to get ready to take a commercial, and we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to finish this conversation, and then also I want to talk about something else that the media is not talking about, not much, because everybody's, you know, whenever we have these big sensational stories, I like to say, okay, what else is going on? Because they seem to say, okay, you know, when we crucify a Negro, they get really distracted and reactionary with it. But I don't know if you guys know about Jeffrey Epstein's, his high profile associates for New Year's will be, there's going to be a list. That's right. That name that they said that they would never, ever, ever be released. It seems like in 2024 in January that list is going to be revealed, and so I think that's going to be really interesting. I wonder who names will appear on that list. But folks, you're tuned in to the Color Only Cafe, where the conversation is always hot, black, and strong. I'm your host, Tylon Washington, along with Dr. Christopher Osborne-Williams, and we're your navigators for this evening's conversation. We don't want you to go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Listening to content developed by the GoPro Radio Network, the fastest growing network in the galaxy. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head.
Dog getting all excited.
Neck pain. Back pain. Ouch. But now there's Pillow Max, the new armrest pillow. Pillow Max provides full arm and elbow support while driving. One size fits all.
Pillow Max is the perfect remedy for neck, low back, and trap pains while traveling in your car. I recommend the Pillow Max to all my patients.
Pillow Max comes in black and white and has a machine washable cover.
Pillow Max is awesome.
Pillow Max. Pillow Max.
Available at retailers worldwide.
The views and opinions expressed on GoPro Radio Network shows are solely those of the speakers and are not necessarily the views or opinions of GoPro Radio Network, Inc. or its affiliates. These broadcasts are provided on the understanding that they do not constitute professional advice or services. Individuals who speak on these broadcasts express their own opinions, experiences, and conclusions. GoPro Radio Networks and its affiliates do not necessarily endorse or oppose any particular opinion or conclusion discussed in these broadcasts. You may not edit or modify or redistribute these broadcasts in any way without the express permission from GoPro Radio, LLC. GoPro Radio assumes no liability for any of your activities in connection with our broadcast or for your use of these broadcasts in connection with your website, computer, smartphone, tablet, iPad, or future listening devices. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head.
You're listening to content developed by the GoPro Radio Network, the fastest growing network in the galaxy. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head.
Hey, tell Kevin we need to redo this wall.
We have to demo it all. The electricians won't play ball.
Redesign the hall?
I'll tell Nathaniel. Material recall. Okie dokie. They're gonna fire Paul. What did I do?
Make it 3 feet tall.
3 meatballs?
Fire directing rod.
Yeah, the pipe's too small.
Recall.
Hexagonal.
Horizontal?
Greg! We need to install
A waterfall.
Cool waterfall.
Be on the same page at every stage with Autodesk Construction Cloud.
Where's Paul?
You're listening to content developed by the GoPro Radio Network, the fastest growing network in the galaxy. GoPro Radio Network. Listen to the voices in your head.
Okay, we are back. We are black. This is the Colored Only Cafe, where the conversation is always hot, black, and strong. Definitely want to thank Pillow Max. I want to definitely thank Autodeck, the people who are advertising and sponsoring and supporting the GoPro Radio Network on this wonderful Wednesday. It's the 20th. Folks, we getting ready to move into the holidays or holidays, depends on, who you talk to. People who have to love to spend, and I think this is a good time to do as Ron said, divest. And I kind of do that, I think I've never stopped protesting or stopped divesting, since I started with Nelson Mandela and apartheid when I was a student over at Medgar Evers College. And, I started to look at the economics and how we fuel a lot of this injustice during this time. We pay our oppressors this bonus during these holidays, buying these expensive and elaborate gifts because we feel guilty perhaps for the way we're treating people. And I think that, the most important gift that we can ever give to each other is, revolution, rebellion, standing up in the face of, adversity. I think that is so important. So, let's check this out real quick.
Some families don't need to exchange gifts for Christmas. They need to settle all disputes, let go of grudges, make peace, forgive, seek unity, heal. That's the real gift.
That was so nice. I think I'm going to play this twice.
Some families don't need to exchange gifts for Christmas. They need to settle all disputes, let go of grudges, make peace, forgive, seek unity, heal. That's the real gift.
Yeah, some of the principles that's in Kwanzaa, but I think also, be very mindful about, I think, community service. When I talk about community service, we don't have a community. I think working with other black folks, building the infrastructure for our own institutions, whether it's in entertainment, radio, whatever, build those kinds of things, during this time. Definitely, try to do away with, grudges and these bad feelings and all this other kind of stuff so that we can move forward and push past a lot of this and come together, organize. I think that's a great Kwanzaa gift. That's a great Hanukkah gift. That's a great Christmas gift for what is it, Three Kings Day, or whatever. Whatever you do and whatever you celebrate with whatever intention, do it with a sense and a spirit of trying to change the world. This is why we're here at the Colored Only Cafe. Ron and I sat down and said, a lot of people have different points of view and perspectives. And I said, I got a lot of friends like that. They don't talk to each other. So we said, let's create a room where people with different perspectives and points of view can get in and realize that, we can have different perspectives. And it doesn't mean that someone sees something different than you do that, that's no longer your brother. So let's get together on the things that we can get together on. And I think all of us, it's unanimous, believe that we should divest, and we should encourage others to, divest, and it works. It really does. I mean, we're watching, get the Business Insider this month, and they're talking about how they might have to close up some Starbucks and McDonald's and other parts of the world where people are consciously saying, we're not going to support you if you support Israel or you support the Zionists. So it can be a very effective tool. Our real owners are businesses, if you want to get down to it. So I'm all for that. I think that is an excellent plan, and I think not only we should divest, like, okay, I'm going to withhold my money, and then once you treat me better, do better, I'm going to give it. We should divest, period, and never return. We need to develop places where we can get our own food, where we can have people who are sensitive to meet our medical needs, who look like us and care about us. I think, places that we live, we should live in communities where, Ron is my neighbor, Brother Pete is my neighbor, Quinn is my neighbor, Jada Pro is my neighbor, Deshaun is down the block, Sonny, is down the street. Jacqueline is down the street. We need to really build these things and make it a reality. So as we come together, guess what? We're stronger. We're better protected, and we can turn this into
well, I'm not in the neighborhood.
Huh?
You ain't saying my name.
And why I gotta be down the street?
Yeah. Well, you know what? You don't have to be, because you're gonna be upstairs, Coltes. You're gonna be upstairs. You're gonna be at the penthouse.
Honey, call the National Guard. They're moving in.
I think, and there's wonderful places out in Arizona. The Coltes is doing a wonderful out in Baltimore. There's a sister out there that need to support and looking to really build a black community. There's places all over that, we can go, and I think we should do that. Not only we should actually show people that we're doing it. Let people know that, these things might not be easy, but you got to be willing. If you want to be free, you got to be willing to sometimes go hungry or do without, or, miss a meal or two. It may be actually helpful. Spend and go broke and then spend the rest of the year paying for, so-called holiday gifts. And I know no one in this room is doing that, because I think everybody here is definitely B1 and savvy. But the folks who will listen to this and rebroadcast, really consider saying, you know what, I'm not going to go broke. I'm not going to go spend a whole lot of money that I actually don't have. I'm going to really invest in my people, and invest in the GoPro Radio Network. Invest with Coltes. Invest with a brother Deshaun. When was the last time somebody made a donation to our journalists and the people out there who are on the front lines doing things? So, I think that these things are important.
We've been slaves. And we come from a whole generation and generations of slaves. And when we get a couple of dollars, we want to go out and spend money so we can think that we're not slaves anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to say something else, that no matter how much money a black person gets, you will always be, by this system, considered a nigger.
Mm.
And that's what we're not forgetting. We're not forgetting that. Until we are in control of the media, of our community, of the education, of the medical, of the politics, we don't have nothing. I mean, what you're saying is nice for us to come together, but we're not coming together. I don't know what it is. It's probably in our DNA for us not to come together, because we've been beat down so long. So we don't know how to recover from that. We don't.
Well, us coming together on this platform, we fly in the face of a lot of that. I think every great journey starts with the first step. And folks who don't have a group, make up your own group. If you don't want to join the Colored Only Cafe, open up your own. I mean, I think this is an invitation for you just to think differently. And I think everything starts in the mind. I think he who prescribes the diameter of your thinking controls the circumference of your action. So if we can tell you to, or impress you to, or encourage you, or inspire you to, make certain changes, it's all good, because the roads are going to lead to the same place, and that's real true freedom. And freedom to me is self-determination, and the right to do so, the right to live and speak in the ways that we want to speak without, cowering and being afraid of what someone else is going to think or what someone else is going to say. So, that's important. Well, today's conversation, we're talking about guilty until proven innocent, which you should see on the screen. No man is safe. Your husband isn't safe. Your father isn't safe. Your son isn't safe. Your grandson isn't safe. Hashtag him too. We can start pushing, these ideas and concepts that go against the narrative as well. We have to push back, and there's no such thing as something too small or something too big at this point where, the attacks are obvious and blatant. My thing is we should not just take it on the chin. We should not just accept this as that's just how it is. And I keep hearing it, oh, well, that's how it is. As if that's a flex. Like that in itself is a change or something that moves us in the right way. I think we should not only divest and boycott, we should never, ever with intention invest in anything, that helps or benefit, the system in any way, shape, and
You're
form.
saying
Okay,
system or the system?
right. Now, as I said, as promised, you can check this out. This came out on the Daily Mail just yesterday, and I was like, Jonathan Majors, everybody's talking about that. Something else is going on. Like, when everybody, especially in our community, is focused. And dozens of Jeffrey Epstein's high-profile associates are in for a New Year's surprise as they will be named in court documents set to be released in the first days of 2024.
One of my cousins.
That's gonna be good.
Diddy
One
gonna
of
be
my
the first
cousins-
name on the list. Watch.
Okay, so
One
that
of
was
my
going to be my
cousins,
question. I said, who do
one
we
of my
think will
cousins
be on
said-
that list, and do you think anything is going to come of it? Well, they have little controls of well, I'm on the list, but I wasn't there. I don't know. You got to prove it just because it's on a piece of paper. And I think that's why maybe some of these stories with Diddy and some other folks have been probably leaked out by Diddy just to condition us psychologically. So when his name does appear, it's like, oh yeah, well, we're not surprised.
One of my cousins that lives in Florida texted me. Somehow he got a hold of that list, and he sent. I could only see some of it, and I did see a famous black person's name on that list. Actually, I don't know if I want to say it on the air. I'll wait till we go off.
Oprah's on the list. Oprah's on that list.
Oh, I'm
Okay,
sure. Well, a lot of
didn't
pictures are taken with him and
okay.
Oprah.
The person I'm talking about is a male, though. It's a black man
Mm.
that I saw.
Tyler Perry?
No, I didn't see his name, but it probably is.
But he's a good friend with Oprah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm not going to say who it is on the air. I'll wait till we go off. To say who's
Okay.
his name.
Well, anyway, the pedophile's powerful friends are set to be exposed as part of a vast unsealing that a judge ordered on Monday. I wonder if there are going to be some injunctions or somebody's going to try to stop. It will take place in 14 days. That will take the release day to January 1st. But as that is, a holiday is likely. The files will be made public the following day. There's some 177 people. That's close to 200 names will be identified across hundreds of files, which were shed that will shed new light on the late financier's sex trafficking operation and his vast network of influence. Judge Loretta Persica wrote in quote unquote sealed and unsealed in full next to the names of 177. Wow, names. Wow. So it's going to be his friends, people who, check this out, people who considered recruiters, and people that was used to recruit people. So these are going to be like some celebrity traffickers.
Oh shit.
It's going to go down. So I hope that they are. I hope Alan Bragg does as much rigor as he did with what's this guy, Jonathan Majors, and some of the other folks, and hopefully go after some of these people who may be actually friends of people in these high places. So yeah,
Okay,
all right. So we're going to get ready to close this segment. We're in the last 15 minutes. I want to thank you, everybody, for being on this program, sharing their thoughts and ideas and expressions here at the Colored Only Cafe, where the conversation is always hot, black, and strong. We're going to shortly go into our after hours segment. I'm going to play a little bit more of this clip because I don't know if you guys seen this interview, but out of all the interviews, I thought that this was very, very compelling. There's a lot of information that I like to extrapolate and say, what could I use with regard to, sharing information with, friends and family, especially these young guys that think it's a cool thing to just, I can't wait to have this white broad on my arm, like to have this white woman, and every it's like a status symbol, of sorts. So, and I don't know if these cases, you would think after OJ, just so many other these cases that people would, these brothers would get it, and it seems like they just don't. Like,
well, it's hard to find a black woman that's dynamic.
Coltage, you there?
Yeah.
What were you saying?
Did I say something just now?
I thought you were saying so. Okay, no, because I was like, are they? Is there an addiction there to? It's like you see people driving and they falling off the cliff. You think you would pump the brakes and wait, I don't want to go there. People are falling off. I'm hearing bodies hitting rocks and stuff like that, but people just can't. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's just.
What's Gail's last name? Oprah's Gail.
King.
Okay,
King.
that's somebody
King.
else. All right.
Is it appropriate for us to take back his property? But that seemed to be an argument that was missed completely in this trial.
I want to go back because this
appropriate for us to take back his property.
Hold on, let's go.
Were girlfriends allowed to take your son multiple times in ABC? If, and I'll use Kira, use an example. If Kira's walking down the street and someone takes her purse, the law says you're allowed to use force to take your property back. The law doesn't say, well, your girlfriend's allowed to take your cell phone because she's allowed to check for infidelity. The law doesn't say, well, my wife's allowed, or I'm allowed to take my wife's property because I need to check it for this or that. No. To me, this broke down to Grace Jabari stealing property and Jonathan Majors using force. Now, the question is it appropriate force to take back his property? But that seemed to be an argument that was missed completely in this trial. I'm not sure quite why. For the most part, they really focused on, can you believe that these injuries actually occurred in that vehicle when Grace Jabari then went off drinking with these new friends that she saw, that she supposedly bumped into a wall, supposedly bounced her head off of the DJ booth, was smoking with a cigarette. Was her finger really broken? Was her ear really scratched? That's where this case really focused. It didn't focus on, is any person justified of using force to take back their property?
So Majors didn't testify in.
That's interesting. Can you use force to take back your property? I thought that was interesting, and I don't think a lot of people really picked up on that. And I thought that was,
well, I had a question in reference to that.
It seems like they have all these lawyers that got all this money. They come in with all these files, boxes of files. It's like, what's in that you can't get somebody free? It's like, why carry those boxes? It's like you should just have a little pad, a little sketch pad, and a pen. I would hate to have paid all that money for that level of representation, which makes me think on a certain level, and this is just a theory. It's just a theory that he probably wanted to get out of his contract. Sometimes we be looking at things like, oh wow, yeah, they get this, they got this brother, and I don't know if you know this, guys. Marvel is like sinking. Their last few movies, they're losing, they're hemorrhaging money like you wouldn't believe. They were ready to fire him, but I think he was ready to go. And by the way, there are new platforms that are coming out that's going to even be a challenge to Netflix. That's going to be run by, I think, a Saudi entity. Is going to come out with, you can see first run movies and all this other kind of stuff on the day of release. And
it's already out, Tylon. It's already out. I hate to interrupt you, but it's already out.
Really, what is it?
I'm not going to announce it on air.
Okay. But what I'm saying with that, Jay, that it's already out, but there are new giants on the block, and I get a sense, and like I say, I don't know this is facts, but I'm just gonna speak to this room that this would be a good way for somebody who had a tight-fisted contract, and you know how those Marvel contracts they are, to have something happen, you get out of the contract, and now you're in line for, for something. I think Jonathan Majors is going to be okay, just like Will Smith is going to be okay. I think people are really not too bright in this country, and they have a short attention span. You go back in time and you think of who the victims, the so-called victims of domestic violence. You don't even know their names, but we do know the celebrities, right? That's the power of celebrity, as long as you keep talking about them. And so now, they were ready to release him for a while, and was so-called waiting for the verdict. And maybe he could be playing chess while they're playing checkers, and saying, "Hey, now I can move on to this new situation," just like Dave Chappelle, although he wasn't, convicted or accused, of domestic violence, but he was definitely accused of being crazy. So, I just have like a wait and see approach in terms of like how things are played out. And I know that there are a lot of marketing engineers and marketing technicians that know how things are going to go. And, perhaps this looks like a situation that, it's all jacked up. And then he might come out with some other situations and opportunities that we're unaware of. So that's just a theory.
Yeah, I wanted to ask the question, and that is, what's the race of his attorney? Did he have a black attorney or a white attorney?
It was a team. I think one was like a Latino and one was black, and I think one guy was like a young Jewish guy or something like the guy that he kind of dapped when he went in. So I think he had I think he covered his bases like aesthetically in terms of representation. He had like a team, team of
a multiracial
two
team,
black and
a
one white.
multiracial team.
Yeah,
So he had two black and one white.
I thought it was two white and two
I
black.
said two black and one white.
Oh, okay. I thought it was two. Okay, all right. Okay, I thought he had a team of four.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. I mean, when you go into these places, everybody knows about optics. So I know that, usually what you do, especially if, he had the female up front, make sure that you have a female representing you when, as part of your team, you want to make sure that there's an appeal to all the jurors. And I heard that the jury was mostly white, there was no juries of his peers per se. I guess, it was mostly white, and there was one black woman. I don't know. Maybe let me look that up, or if anyone knows what the jury pool looked like. But a lot of folks don't like to do jury duty, and I think that's something we should try to clamor to do, just to change it up. Because I know if I was on that jury, it would have been at the very least a mistrial. Because I would have been, no, I don't care what
exactly.
Innocent motherfuckers. They be like, what's all on the evidence? They had the gun in his hand. I don't know. It looked like it was put there. He said he did it. I think he crazy. No way he did. I think he was what do you call it? Bully. Did y'all guys see the Central Park 5?
Right.
Yeah,
He was bullied into that. Right.
Yeah, he was bullied. There's no way you're gonna get me to convict. I'll be like,
shit!
I don't have powers to arrest her or rearrest. I'll be doing all kinds of crazy stuff. They be like,
that's the reason why we're not picked for jury duty as well. When we come to one of our own, because we know the dynamics of how we live. We know circumstances that may have arisen because of that. White people don't know that. Okay, so they pick the jury to kind of lean towards the verdict that they want.
Now, let me ask everybody in this room a question. Have you ever been called? See, I think we're not called. I think they know. I've never got an envelope to like.
I have.
Okay, you have. Okay.
It was for something I had no expertise on. You know what I mean? They knew, like, if you select people based on what they know, why would you select me for a construction site that I've never done this before? So it was like completely foreign to what I knew. It was like a corporate kind of money kind of thing, more so than an actual crime taking place.
I just don't think they ask black people to serve on. I really do. I don't think they even ask.
No, I've been called but not chosen.
Right.
Yeah, I've been called.
They'll have you come sit down there for a minute, and then say all the people that don't know how to do this. Do you know how to do this? Do you know about blueprint drafting or something like that? And then once you say no, they let you go.
See, I think all things are true. I think what you're saying is true.
Yes.
Right. Like once they pick you. I'm sorry, Quinn. Go ahead.
No, I was agreeing with you.
Yeah, I think on one level they don't. First of all, we're not invited to the party, but when we show up, all the liquor's gone.
Or you gotta have a certain pair of shoes.
Ain't no party here.
No.
Sorry, we won't be serving you.
You gotta have a certain pair of shoes to get in. Oh, those ain't the right shoes right there.
Yeah. It's always these things so they make sure that because I'm like, what happened to jury? That doesn't mean anything today. He told me like. I heard. I don't know this as a fact, and I always want to say that. I'll say what I know as a fact, and I don't know. But someone told me that the jury was mostly white, and there was like one black person and one kind of like ambiguous, like he could be mixed, mulatto, like I don't know what do they used to call them, Geppettos. I don't know. It's like you just don't know, and I was like, how is that? Like, what kind of representation that would even allow that? I'm like, I don't know. I would lose the case just with the jury. We cannot find a jury of his peers. Well, it's crazy. But I know that if I get called, I've never been called. Now it could be maybe I wasn't. Somebody said that it's connected to voting because I don't vote. I don't believe in that.
It is connected to voting.
Oh, see, so maybe that's why I wasn't called because I don't vote. I don't believe in that.
I don't no more.
Yeah, it's like voting for who, like what? But then I think that's terrible because they still should call people. They should figure out another way to call citizens, especially if you don't have, you've never been what do you call it, convicted of any felony. You should be able to be called that, and to serve on these juries so that I can, free some people. We're never called. Deshaun, is that true? Like you have to be part of you got to vote in order to be called to a jury?
Yeah, they
get the name from that voter roster.
Registered voter.
See how they do it? That's dirty. Black folks don't care, but I know I don't vote.
Actually, hold on, but then keep in mind too, I could be incorrect, but it might be a loophole with that as well. But generally you have to be a registered voter, but there might be a loophole.
Maybe that's something we should look at to change because I'm like, who was on this jury and saw him running and like said, I never saw somebody who's a victim of abuse chase the guy who abused you. It was just I saw that I was like, oh come on, just on that it's like I know over and out. All right, but anyway, folks, thank you for listening. I'm gonna end this part of it. We unfortunately, I'm in Facebook jail. I think somebody reported us. I have an idea who reported us, to those people and talking about our program and what we're talking about. So every time we try to share, but just know that we are going to be on YouTube. I promise you. I super silly promise you, pinky swear with sugar on top that by January, it's going to be a brand new day over at GoPro Radio, and we're going to be on YouTube. It's a little bit more friendly, but at some point, another thing, we have to have our own servers. That's the aim and goal. If we don't want to get cut off, cut out, we have to control the system. We're going to have our own, fully and completely, so that they won't be able to do things, like this. All right. That only means that we're making noise, we're making progress, and that we need to continue. So I want to thank
it's a shame that we don't have our own because black people
across the fader, Jada Pro, Brother Pete, Dr. Ron, Christopher Osborne, Vanessa for chilling out and listening, Lydia, Quinn Alston, Jacqueline Banner, Sonny B. We'll see you tomorrow, Sonny B. Deshaun Farad, and as in the words of Melvin Van Peebles, start where you are, use what you have, do what you can, and the important part is to know that guess what? You are enough. You don't need anything else. All we need is us. All we got is us. And guess that's all we need. Let's make it happen. I want everybody to have a very safe holiday. And we'll see you on the 27th. And so for another show of the Colored Only Cafe.
Mm-hmm. Peace, family. Hotel.
Tylon, is that YouTube or is that YouTube
GoPro
Live?
Radio Network.
Say it again.
I say YouTube. Is that YouTube or is that YouTube Live?